Konnichiwa, Minas Tisakuri, you're watching PokeCast. Welcome to my Game Boy Collection. This will be my collection for the original Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, I wish I had a Game Boy Light, and the cool Super Game Boy. So I'm really excited to share this one with you guys. First off, I think that one thing makes this and certain other collections unique is that for Game Boy, it's for all the Game Boys, I should say, it's one of the few collections that I actually don't mind collecting loose cartridges, due to the fact of how hard it is sometimes to even get some of the boxes, and it's a lot cheaper. So this is one of the few collections that I only do cartridges, so it's gonna be fun to see exactly what I have, and tell you what I've played and what I think of each of them. As always, starting off, showing off which ones I actually have. I do have two original Game Boys. They semi-work, their screens aren't very good. And then I have two Game Boy Pockets, one that we actually found up in the attic and it 100% works. I was very excited because I was the one who got to keep it. So these are the ones I have. And yes, I would love to have a light, but they're a wee bit expensive, so sadly don't have one. Alright, starting off with the collection will be my boxed Japanese games. So this right here is Umi no Noshi Sure 2. I think that is the mystical river legend game. It's a fishing game, but kind of like Pokemon, but with fishing. I have actually never played the US version or the Japanese one, just haven't got to it yet. And then we have a really bizarre one, which is Nikin Birotomo Club. I still have no idea what this game is. I did a video of it, and at least the box art is very pretty, but that's about as much as I can tell you about it. Here we have Shanghai and Pipe Dream. Shanghai is exactly what it is. It's Mahjong Shanghai, and I haven't played it yet, but can never go wrong with having too many Mahjong games. And then we have, like I said, Pipe Dream, which is exactly what that is. And it's a brutal, evil game. If you ever want something that's challenging, worth picking up. This next game is a unique one. Mickey Mouse 4 Maho no Labyrinth. It has 3 different releases. Depending on which region it got released in is depending on what the character or franchise was used for the game. For the Japanese one, it was Mickey Mouse, and it's basically a crazy castle style game. Really fun but difficult. And I will be talking about the other two when we come across them, because I had the European version and I had the US version. The next one we have is Yo-Yo Hakusho Dai 2 Tomo An Koku Baju Sokai. And basically it's a fighting game slash beat 'em up, I think it is. I haven't played all of them. I've only played the third game in the series, which is really fun, and I was lucky enough to get all 4 of them. But this is the only one I have complete in box. Here we have Game-ji Hakin Tamagotchi, which it's the Japanese version of the Tamagotchi game, which is personally my favorite version of Tamagotchi, where you take care of the Tamagotchis because you can have multiple Tamagotchis on the game at once, and there's a lot of really fun mini games. Highly recommend this one. I just haven't played the Japanese ones, so I don't know what's different. Then we have Midori no Makiboy, and I think I played this one, but I can't remember. But basically it's a racing game based off of an anime about a horse or a cow. I don't actually know what he is. I've never actually seen the anime. I read the manga, so I'm not 100% sure, but always excited to have a good racing game. Here we have Game-ji Hakin Tamagotchi 2. Have not played it yet, so I don't know what the difference is between the second and first game. I'm hoping there's going to be some massive improvements, or at least something new. Definitely need to get on to trying it out. Then we have a game I really wish came out to the United States, and that's Capcom Quiz Hatena no Daiboken. And basically it's a Capcom quiz game that asks you questions about Capcom games and sees how good of a Capcom fan you are. Why we did not get things like this in the United States, I have no idea. It happens, unfortunately. Here we have a really fun game, and that's Dino Breeder. This game is kind of like Pokemon, but not like Pokemon, because you really got, it's more like a Tamagotchi, so you get to choose one dino and take care of it. But you're time traveling and fighting against other dinosaurs to help your dinosaur grow. It's bizarre, but I actually really enjoy this game. The next one is Ucho Senkin Yomoto, based off of the anime, and it's a tactical base space fighter. So it's really cool, but it's definitely one of the harder games I have on the Game Boy. Pretty cool game. Here we have Mini Yoku GB Let's and Go. It is one of the few games that got released to the Metal 10 series, because for whatever reason, for a while there in Japan, they were doing Game Boy games in Metal 10s. And I would really love to get a couple more of them, because I think it's a really cool idea. This is based off of the manga / anime, and it's a racing toy game, so the more you win, the more parts you get, the better your RC car becomes, and that's basically how I can describe the game. It's not bad, it's actually a lot of fun, and strangely, once again, because the anime wasn't over here, we didn't get this awesome game. Next, we'll be going into some of my Game Boy box games, or custom art box games. Now, of course, Tetris Attack, amazing game, and absolutely love it. Tetris Blast, which is my mother's favorite Tetris game, and we've had a lot of moments with that one to where she would just spend hours on end trying to figure out a puzzle, bring it to me, I can't do this, hand me the Game Boy, 2 seconds later hand it back to her, I hate you. You're welcome, Mom, I love you too. I love you too, son. I hate you though, and she walks away. True story. Next, of course, is the classic, Tetris, and Tetris 2. What can I say about these? Tetris is an absolutely amazing game. Me and my sister would go against each other all the time, because that was what we got for Christmas that year, was Game Boys and Tetris. Tetris 2 is basically Tetris with Dr. Mario mixed in. Brilliant idea. Can be very, very hard at times. And I'd like to mention that I would have loved if they had came up with these cases when the Game Boy originally released, because I think they're a lot better than the cardboard boxes. But that's just me. You can buy these online from various designers who like to do these amazing things. Of course, next I have The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. I'll be honest, I've never actually beat the game. This or the DX version, I don't know why, but I absolutely love it. I need to correct that, but a game worth having in the collection, and it's phenomenal. And of course, Pokemon Red version. I'm pretty sure this was the first Pokemon game I actually bought. Unique story about this one was I went to school that day, and the power was out. Well, they could not get the power turned on, so they sent us all home, and I immediately went home, grabbed the money I've been saving up, went to Walmart, and I had the most unique experience picking up a Pokemon game ever. First off, it was the release day of the game, so I was able to pick up day one. I love walking up to the clerk and going, "Hi, do you have Pokemon in stock? Please say yes." What? Pokemon. Pocket Monster? It's the newest game from Nintendo? Sure. They did not know what Pokemon was at the time, and that's why it was a unique experience for me, especially because now you say Pokemon, everybody knows what Pokemon is. So that's what makes this particular game very unique in my history of gaming. Here we have Yoshi's Cookie, which is an amazing puzzle game. Works really, really nicely on the Game Boy. Highly recommend it if you have never played it. Basically, you're matching a minimum of 3 cookies, and then you go from there. But instead of just doing it how you would in Bejeweled, you actually have to move the columns or rows. So that's where, I don't know if it was the first game to do it, but definitely took off from that, I think. And then Game & Watch Gallery. Oh, so many memories, so many times crying my eyes out because of how brutally hard these games are. But I absolutely love this collection. I was so excited to find a full box copy, dirt cheap. I think I only had to pay like $10 for it. So, amazing. And without a doubt, Dr. Mario. Another game worth picking up for the Game Boy. Works phenomenally well for it. And multiplayer is a lot of fun. Just don't play against my friend, because she's amazing and she will just completely destroy anybody who ever goes against her. Alright, we're back to the Japanese collection loose cartridges. First off is Puyo Puyo. They did a really good job of bringing this to the Game Boy. With the limitations of the color, it can be a little bit more difficult than some of the other games, but I think they did a good job to where it's still feasible, and it is a lot of fun. After that we have Bishijo Senshi Sailor Moon R, and I can't remember which one this one is. I know I played it, but I just can't remember because there's several of them for the Game Boy. Here's one of the few extra copies I have of Yu-Yu Hakusho Dai 2 Tama Ankokyu Bajo Sukai. Once again, I haven't actually played this one, so I'm not positive what that one's about. Then we have Battle Dodgeball. Basically, it's from the SD series, and you're playing dodgeball with chibi forms of Ultraman, Gundam, and Kamen Rider. It's a lot of fun, but being dodgeball, it is brutal, but a fun game. Here we have Maho Kishi Ray Earth. I have absolutely no idea, I haven't played it yet, so I can't tell you, sorry. Then we have SD Lupin Sensei Kenko Yobori Daisakusen. Once again, have not played it, so couldn't tell you. I have these in my list to play games, but when you have a lot of games, that's just what happens. Here we have Super Bikiriman Densetsu no Shikiban. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up platformer based off an anime/manga, I believe. It's actually a lot of fun, but it is also really hard, like most of those are for the Game Boy. Next we have Yu-Yu Hakusho Dai 3 Tama Makai no Tobira. This is the one I have played out of the 4 games, and it's a lot of fun. It's basically a side-scrolling beat-em-up/fighting game. A lot of fun, and it's based off of the 3rd major saga, as far as I understand. A lot of fun. This one's really good. Next we have Koro Dice. If I remember correctly, this is a puzzle-based game where you move the die to match the same number to continue on the puzzle. Not an easy game. And then we have from TV Animation Slam Dunk Gaki Pochi no Kishu League. Have not played it. Well, I know it's a basketball game, but if I remember correctly, at least what I saw, it's played slightly different because they wanted to show some anime sequences as best they could. Haven't played it yet, so I'm not 100% sure. It's on the list to play. Here we have Monster Star Race Okawari, which is, instead of the Pokemon battling it out to knock each other out, it is actually a racing game. So you have monsters to collect and you race them. It's a lot of fun. And I'm really sad we did not get this here in the United States until the final game for the DS, which is impossible to get a hold because it's super expensive. Then we have Senryo Carnival. which is a Hello Kitty puzzle game, if I remember correctly. This is the puzzle game. There's 3 games, I think, for the Game Boy, and one of them is definitely 100% Japanese. Here we have Man Tentai Conan Kibako no Goka Rensa. Haven't played it, so I actually don't know what style of game this is. But when I saw that I can get a Detective Conan, I had to pick it up. Next is the one I was kind of referring to. This is Sanrio Uranai Party. As far as I understand, this is a fortune-telling game, I think. This one's just really weird. You should see the video on this one. It's a lot of fun. Next we have Porikora Pocket Fukazan Joshi Kyosai Manual and Porikoria Pocket 2 Karishi Kanzo Daiseki-san. No idea. I saw that there was 2 of them. They had them for a good price, so I picked them both up. They're from Atlas, and they have a unique color on the cartridge, which was something I fancied. So that's about as much as I know about these games. I picked up mainly because of those 2 things. They're white cartridges, and they're from Atlas. And of course, I have at least one Dragon Ball game in my collection for Game Boy, and that is Dragon Ball Z Goku Hin Shoden. This is an RPG that is a lot of fun. Not easy, but really cool how they are able to do it. Then we have Yo-Yo Hakusho Dai 4 Tomo Makai Tyoi So, and it's the final one in the series, which focuses off of the final saga in the Yo-Yo Hakusho series. As far as I know, it's a fighting game. That's about as much as I know about it, because I haven't played it yet. Next we have Rama 1/2 Kakugiki Mondio. This is an RPG, and holy crap, did I get my butt kicked. It's different how they do the fighting sequences, and so it's a little bit harder, but not a bad game. Next one is Rama 1/2 Netsurisu Kakutohin. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, but I haven't played it yet, so I don't know exactly how good it is. Knowing that it's Rama 1/2, it's probably going to be a lot of fun and brutally hard. Here we have Mega Mi Taisai Gaiden Last Bible 2. I think it's an action RPG, but it's from Atlas, so I had to pick it up. And then we have Game Boy Walls. This is from the Advanced Wall series, basically, and I haven't played it, but knowing from what series it is and how brutal it was on Game Boy Advance and the DS, I'm in for a treat when I go to try this one out. Here we have Uno Small World. This is an amazing game. It is so much fun, and I love how Japan brought Uno to life. Marvelous series to try out if you can get your hands on this. It is just so much fun. Next we have the other Sailor Moon game, and that is Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon, and this one is the beat 'em up side scroller, which is one I know I've played, but I can't remember how brutally hard it is. But knowing that it's a Sailor Moon beat 'em up means that good luck, you're going to die a lot. Here we have Ishido The Way of the Stones. This is a brutally hard puzzle game where you have to put down as many tiles on the board as possible. I haven't played the Japanese version yet, but I had this for a long time on the US version and love the game. Then we have Yo-Yo Hakusho, which is the first game in the series. I believe it's a fighting game, but I have yet to try this one. This is Saga 2 Hyuho Daisetsu This is Final Fantasy Legends 2, and I have not played it yet, but I know that's supposed to be a really fun game. Then we have my final Japanese game, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, and surprisingly, this one is far better than the PlayStation 1 game we got, and it's amazing. I am so happy to have this. And strange, once again, strange we did not get it in the United States, but I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh! Had made it over here just yet. But a really good game to have. Alright, now time to move on to my US and European collection. First game here is the real Ghostbusters. Remember how I told you back when we were looking at the Mickey Mouse game, how depending on which region it was released in? Well, this right here is a US version. For some reason, they decided to use the real Ghostbusters, so you get to play as Peter Venkman, and it's utterly bizarre, because this is the one franchise that does not work for this game at all. Then, of course, I do have an extra copy of Tetris. That way, I can do multiplayer with friends and family. Here is Barbie Girl Game. Haven't played it yet, so I can't really say, but I do like to collect my Barbie games, so I have to get all of that I can, because they're a lot of fun a lot of the times. Next is Busta Move 2 Arcade Edition. Another one of the puzzle games which surprisingly works really good on the Game Boy, and a worth having game for any puzzle game player on the Game Boy. Here is Infogenius. Systems, Biarritz, Spanish translator, which I just got a video up, and it basically is that. It gives you phrases and you can type words in to see either from English to Spanish or Spanish to English. Very unique for either of these on the Game Boy. Next is, of course, Infogenius Productivity Pack, Spell Checker, and Calculator. And yes, it does have a spell checker on it, and yes, it does have a calculator. I wish I had this back in the day when I was going to school, and that way I can pull up my Game Boy and my teacher would be like, "What the heck are you doing?" It's my calculator. I hate you. I will allow it. You know, that would have been so much fun to actually use in school. Zop. An amazing puzzle game that sadly disappeared. It is one worth trying out, and it's so much fun. Then of course we got Wheel of Fortune, a well-made game for the Game Boy. Just I suck at spelling, so you actually have to spell in this version like a lot of the older ones, so there's not pre-made words. So I'm not very good at it, because I tend to not do good when I have to answer what it is. Do you like platforming games which are pure evil? Do you want a challenge? Batman, the video game. That's all I need to say about it. Good luck. And then we have Tamagotchi, the English version, which I put so much time into this game. If I were to probably load it up now, either my battery would be dead, or my Tamagotchi most likely would be dead. And that's how Tamagotchi works. You get to play with your Tamagotchi for so long, and all of a sudden it just dies randomly. I love Tamagotchi. It's so much fun. Toy Story. The only game I think it's harder or equal to Batman the video game. It is a platformer that is loosely based off of the movie. And it makes no sense half the time about the levels and how you do. But that's how they were back in the day. Then we have Swamp Thing. The reason I picked up this game, it's supposed to be the absolute worst trash and rubbish for the Game Boy. Sadly, because it's Swamp Thing, he's awesome. But haven't played it yet, so I can't confirm if it really sucks or not. DuckTales 2. Another one of the infamous or famous, depending on how you feel about it, Disney Capcom platformers. It's really good, just really brutally hard. That's why they're amazing. Here is another game I picked up for my mother because she absolutely loves Centipede. So, Arcade Classic 2, Centipede and Millipede. It works really good on the Game Boy. It's one of those classic arcade games which either you're really good at it, or you're kind of good at it, or you just well, there's a reason why you never get past level 1. I'm in the medium range. I don't think I can get past level 10, which is the furthest I've ever gotten, I think. Maybe. Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land. Talk about amazing game. This one really pushes you to the limits at times. Yet to beat it, but one worth having for the Game Boy. And then of course Super Mario Land 1. I have beaten this game. It is a lot of fun, and it's the introduction to Daisy, who is an amazing princess. I know people are always like, but I think she's amazing. Though Peach is my favorite. Sorry, Daisy. But very clever way that they were able to change how Mario worked, and one worth getting for the Game Boy. James Bond 007 is a weird mix. It plays similar to games like The Legend of Zelda and Ninja Taro, to where, you know, it's a top-down type perspective, and you get to play as James Bond. You get to use your weapons, your items, but even all through all that, there's a level where you get to do the casino. Me not really playing a lot of casino games, I did not know how to play the casino game I had to play. You had to win $1,000 to get into the boss, and I lost about $2 million. But actually a really good game to play. One I highly recommend for the Game Boy. If I haven't said that a million times throughout this video, is definitely one of them. Next we have Turn and Burn, the F-14 dogfight simulator. Haven't played it yet, so can't really say. But my guess is it's going to be a shmup. Well, dogfight simulator, so I'll probably die a lot. Quicks. The mere mention of its name can frighten people from playing the Game Boy ever again, due to the fact that it is an amazing arcade title which just hates you completely, but worth playing. Good luck trying to beat that one. Then my favorite game on the Game Boy literally is, of course, Yoshi, also known as Mario and Yoshi. This is not my original copy, fortunately, because I actually got a European copy, which was actually called the other one. But this is the best puzzle game on the Game Boy, in my opinion. Pick it up, play it, enjoy it. WWF Warzone. I don't think I've ever played this one, but it's a wrestling game on the Game Boy. Next, of course, is Panel Action Bingo. It is weird, but it's a fun game where you're just trying to get bingos and stuff. As you can tell, I can't remember how it's played. It's been a long time since I played it. And unfortunately, due to the stupid sticker on it, I can't take the sticker off because it's just going to take off the artwork. So I had to actually get myself a replacement artwork for it, sadly. But yes, there's that game. Baseball. One of the, I think, first 20 games that come out for the Game Boy. It is a really well done baseball game, and definitely worth playing multiplayer with, because the computer is not very fair sometimes, but not bad at all. Next we have Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It is a side-scrolling game, and like I have said previously in the video, during that time, side-scrolling platformer games on the Game Boy, well, good luck, because they're all difficult. Remember how I said the Toy Story game is loosely based off of the movie? Well, let me show you the only game that just totally destroys it when it comes to, I don't know what they were doing. Home Alone for the Game Boy. See, if you remember the movie, everything was put together to practically kill and torture the wet bandits. Not in this game. everything comes to life because they've been taken over by demons and are trying to kill Kevin. Why? We do not know. That's just what they made it. It's the weirdest game ever, and if you haven't tried any of the Unknown games, you need to. They're an experience, because it's literally makes no sense whatsoever. So it's a side-scrolling platformer with everything trying to kill you, including vacuum cleaners and everything else. And then right here is the final game in the Mickey Mouse series I was telling you about. This is the UK version, and that is Garfield Labyrinth. This one makes sense. You get to play as Garfield, because that makes more sense than Peter Venkman. And the only differences between all three games is literally the opening sequence, sprite changes, and, well, the sprite changes. Other than that, it's the exact same game. Then finally, my last three items, I have the Game Boy camera. This is not my original one, sadly. There was a couple pictures I would have loved to continue to have on that one, but I was really happy when I was able to pick up another one. This was big back in the day. This was the officially first digital camera that was actually available for everybody to pick up. Not very strong camera, but due to the fact that we could finally take selfies without wasting film and all that, you know, you're into that, this was a big thing. Next, I have the Super GB Booster. This is a PlayStation 1 Game Boy player. That's why I picked it up. It does work, not with everything, but it's actually pretty cool, and that's why I'm featuring this in my Game Boy collection, because it's actually it's made for original Game Boy games. They can do some of the Game Boy Color black cartridges, but it's really cool. Then I have the brick. This thing, I have absolutely no idea if it even works. I doubt it, but even if it doesn't work, it's still cool to actually have the battery pack that was rechargeable that allowed you to play your Game Boy on the go without batteries. I was really happy to find one of these. It's really cool. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you had a lot of fun. I have definitely a lot more games in this collection I have not played, so I definitely need to get that corrected. But the Game Boy is so much fun to collect because there's so many weird ones out there to get for it, and then they really went out of their way to make a lot of anime games, so that's why I like to collect the Japanese ones, because you can get some really bizarre games that are weird amalgamations, you know, of gens, and there's a lot of them to get, so I think it's a lot of fun. And then, like I was saying throughout the video, the platformers. Holy freaking crap, there's a lot of platformers on the system that make no sense from their source material, so you have a lot of brutally hard games that came out to the system. So, yeah. As always, if there's any questions about any of the games I have here, let me know. I am more than willing to answer the best to my ability. And if there's any games that you guys are like, oh, you really need to get this, definitely let me know as well. I had a lot of fun sharing this with you guys, and can't wait to do a couple more of the other collections I have. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching. This is T Sakura saying ciao and sayonara.